After World War II ended in 1945, the United States faced an unexpected new battle, not on the ground, not in the air, but in the world of science. The war had proven that technology could determine the fate of nations. Rockets, jets, missiles, medicine, whoever controlled the future of science would control the future of global power. And so, the United States launched one of the most secret and controversial operations in its history. It was called Operation Paperclip, and its mission was simple: find the top German scientists before the Soviets did. Germany had spent years developing cutting-edge technology during the war. Their rockets were the first of their kind. Their jet engines were decades ahead of anyone else's. Their medical research, though often unethical and horrific, had produced breakthroughs other countries desperately wanted to understand. As the Third Reich collapsed, the Allies realized these scientists were now loose pieces on a global chessboard. Whoever claimed them would gain a massive advantage. The United States acted quickly. Under the Joint Intelligence Objectives Agency, teams of American officers swept across Germany searching for scientists, engineers, and researchers. Their goal was to identify the brightest minds and bring them to the United States quietly and permanently. Many of these scientists had worked for the Nazi government, and some had even been high-ranking party members. But in the eyes of American intelligence, their knowledge outweighed their past. To hide their records, U.S. officials literally attached paperclips to the files of scientists they wanted to recruit. These paperclipped files were given priority, and the operation took its name from this simple act. On paper, many of these scientists suddenly appeared clean. Their Nazi affiliations were erased, their histories rewritten. All that mattered was what they could contribute next. One of the most famous recruits was Wernher von Braun, the creator of the V-2 rocket. During the war, the V-2 had terrorized Europe, dropping out of the sky at supersonic speeds with no warning. It was one of the most advanced weapons on Earth. After the war, von Braun and his team surrendered to the Americans. Instead of facing trial, they were brought to the United States, where they eventually helped design the Saturn V rocket, the same rocket that launched the Apollo missions to the Moon. Von Braun was not the only one. More than 1,600 German scientists were eventually brought to America. They contributed to NASA, the U.S. Air Force, missile research, medicine, and Cold War intelligence projects. Some worked on developing early forms of guided missiles. Others contributed to biological and chemical research. Their influence shaped the early decades of American technological growth. But Operation Paperclip came with a moral cost. Many of the scientists had direct connections to Nazi war crimes. Some had overseen forced labor camps. Some had conducted experiments on prisoners. American officials knew this, but hid the information to secure scientific advantage. To this day, historians debate whether the operation was a necessary strategic move or an unethical betrayal of justice. While the United States was recruiting these scientists, the Soviet Union was doing the same. They launched their own aggressive campaign, capturing entire research teams and relocating them to Russia. This scientific tug-of-war fueled the early Cold War and set the stage for the space race. Technologies that had been used to wage destruction during the war now became tools of exploration and deterrence. Operation Paperclip remained classified for decades. Most Americans had no idea their country had quietly imported Nazi scientists and protected them from prosecution. When the details were finally revealed, they sparked outrage and controversy. But by then, the legacy of the operation was already woven into the fabric of American achievement, from missile systems to space travel. Operation Paperclip showed how quickly alliances and ethics can shift in the face of global competition. When the war ended, the world stepped into a new era, one where information was more valuable than armies, and scientific minds became the ultimate prize. It is a story of ambition, secrecy, and the complicated choices that arise when nations fight not just for victory, but for the future.